Everybody, we are back. It is Taped Online's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasubs.com. Discount code TDL for 35% off. All right, so reviewed the film of another blowout, and then of course there's some more bad news coming this week, and so it just keeps getting worse here for us Raiders fans and people who like to enjoy the Raiders. It has so much it was like in August, all the optimism has already been gone. It's not even close to halfway through the season. And we're pretty much doom and gloom here. I watched the whole Cam Ward film yesterday, so I wanted to dive into Cam Ward last night. Yeah, I was already ready. I'm getting ready. I'm gonna do it for some members. I was getting ready. That's like you know what? After finishing, started to do some charting, and I just got to this one play. You're like, I'm gonna watch Cam Ward. This is ridiculous. And then yeah, so we're here, guys. We're talking about the film. We do a film review of offense and defense, just like we always do. Matt, he's going to cover Jack Jones' performance. I'm going to do a mixture of JPJ, who I thought definitely he had a little bit of growing pains the week before. He definitely had some this week, but there's still some good moments from him. You can tell that he's going to be good. And then and then that's basically about it, guys. That's what we're doing today. So let's talk about a couple things here. Christian Wilkins is hurt, so he's on IR. Yeah. There's a debate whether he got hurt on the Adam Butler celebration. I don't know if you checked on All 22 to see the celebration. I don't know if you saw it, Matt, or if you did a deep dive or not. But there's a lot of speculation that's where he got hurt.
I mean, there wasn't like a play that stood out that was like, maybe he got stepped on or maybe like landed on it funny or anything like that. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that was the one. But
did he play after Jones? That?
He did. Okay. Not much though. That was towards the end of the first half, because it was after his sack, right? And then, I think it was towards the end of the first half. So it wouldn't surprise me if that was when he did it, because again, he didn't show any sign. There wasn't a play or anything that I really noticed him hobbling or anything like that. But even on that, he didn't hobble. It wasn't limping or anything around or anything, but. Yeah, and I know a Jones fracture is pretty damn painful. They'd have to put, they obviously have to surgically repair it, and they have to put a screw in your foot. I'm pretty sure. So I would imagine it would have stood out a little bit more on film. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if somebody stepped on his foot or something. Maybe that's something. I don't know.
Maybe. I think because my wife almost did something similar in college. I think it's usually like if you land, if this is your foot, if you land on it like that. Usually how it breaks is and stuff like that. So I don't think someone stepping on it would necessarily. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I think it's usually when you land on it like on the side and snap it or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, he's out for the season. And the defense didn't look very good without him. You're telling me before the show. So it's just totally different. So let's start. Let's start. How was the defense? The film. Yeah. Altogether anyways.
Well, one of my first takeaways, I was talking about, was Christian Wilkins is a beast, and he was owning Quinn Meinerz both in the run and the pass game. The sack was one of the fastest wins I've seen, where he just basically put a dirty move on him and ended up winning. And I mean, he was wreaking havoc all game against the run too. And there was a clear, without him in the lineup, it was pretty clear the Broncos we're going to be able to take advantage. There's no coincidence that the Broncos scored 21 points in the first half and only had 13 21 points in the second half and only had 13 in the first half. And one of those was a gift by Janarius Robinson, who committed the penalty right before that, during that field goal attempt. So they really missed him they really missed Christian Wilkins in the second half. And now they're going to be missing him all year, which is huge. I know some people want to complain about Wilkins on the stat sheet, but trust me, he was doing a lot of things where he was that won't necessarily show up in the box score, but he's been pretty damn good for most of the year, and they're going to be missing him without him. It's bad because a guy like Nesta Jade Silvera been having kind of a tough year when he has been called upon, and now he's going to be stepping into a bigger role. And he had a tough game against the Broncos too. So kind of one of our biggest fears going into the season was the depth at defensive tackle, and now it's going to get exposed. And now I feel like it's already starting to get exposed. Already kind of did, which is one of my big concerns moving forward.
Yeah, it's just so bad, man. It's so bad. How about the secondary let Bo Nix look like a superstar in the second half? So I know you're covering Jack Jones.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I'm diving into Jack Jones just because part of it is I don't think Jack Jones is playing up to expectations. I think we were all hoping he would take that next step and become that cornerback one. Matter of fact, I think I remember we dove into how he can step into that role. And to be honest with you, he's regressed this year. A lot of the clips, they weren't terrible, but like, again, for the guy that you're expecting him and the defense needs him to be, he's not living up to that expectations. And then the secondary as a whole, like, you guys probably noticed it too. Like, Ja'Cory Bennett got damn lucky on that Troy Franklin dropped that easy touchdown on him. Like, I think there was another rep earlier in the game where Bennett had like a coverage break. There were a couple coverage breaks just in general. And in fact, on the play that Troy Franklin should have scored, someone else was wide open on the other side of the field for that would have been an easy touchdown too. But yeah, it was frustrating in the fact that it's like they've been pretty clean in that department, especially Ja'Cory Bennett, who like we've shown a lot of growth in this football IQ, and then the Sunday kind of felt like a little bit of regression. I know he did have like a nice play and it wasn't as bad, or it wasn't the biggest problem yesterday, but to see him have the mental mistakes that have plagued him in the past was frustrating. And then again, the secondary as a whole, because he wasn't completely at fault. But yeah, another guy that's kind of struggling too, and again, not great because he's a defensive tackle. John Jenkins, ever since about week 1, and I think he had a decent game mixed in between. I can't quite remember what, but teams are starting to figure out that you can kind of beat him on outside zones and reach him and stuff like that. If you have a quick center or guard, he's been really struggling to maintain his gap, and I think that's why you're seeing a lot of the rushing lanes later in the game. But yeah, those were my two biggest takeaways. Is the depth at defensive tackle is about probably as bad as we thought it was. And then again, that gets worse without Wilkins in there. And then the coverage breaks were just too much. Like Bo Nix, honestly, it wasn't that impressive to me. Like Bo Nix probably, I think I texted you about this. Bo Nix probably should have 5 touchdowns. Now, one of them was the drop by Franklin that wasn't his fault. But like we'll see one play with Jack Jones where it was actually a good play by Jack Jones. But Bo Nix ran through the wrong play. He's should have thrown a touchdown and ended up throwing a screen where no one was blocking for him. And ended up being a TFL. And there were a few plays like that where I'm like, ooh, Raiders got a little lucky with some of those coverage breaks that Nix didn't see it and didn't quite take advantage. But yeah, it was a tough game to watch. There's a reason why I'm only doing one guy tonight, and that's because I was not going to watch that shit twice.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. So the offense, we now have a quarterback competition, which I don't know why we're doing this. I don't know why we're doing a competition. Like it's like, what are they competing at? Like, what are you doing? Just play AOC. If you're gonna do that, like, or just play Minshew. Just keep playing Minshew. If it's not bad enough now that you still have to have a competition, then you just keep playing Gardner at this point. Yeah. I mean, let Gardner finish the damn season. I mean, what is they go 5-12? Did we get a quarterback? Like, I don't know, because I just got this fear that like AOC, he's so up and down that he's going to play just a couple of games where they shouldn't win. I'm like, come on, AOC, like you don't do this to us. Just like he did last year. Just like he'll play enough. He's got that Ryan Fitzpatrick in him, which I can't PFF stamp did that, but he's got that in him where it's just like he'll suck you in and then he'll spit you out. And I'd rather just have Gardner Minshew at this point. Let's just go. It's
full throttle on the tank. and
let's just go for it. You know what I mean?
I feel like Gardner Minshew can be like that too, and like he'll have a game or whatever like that where he actually looks good, like that, like the second half in the Ravens, and then they'll end up winning like a game or two that they shouldn't. So I feel like either guy could do that. I guess you got to play the cold hand every week.
I guess so.
If you want to lean into the tank.
Yeah,
I
man, but I don't know. It's Minshew was not good on film this week. I mean, it's just the missing guys is just it's getting crazy at this point. Like I don't know, like bro, it's week 5. You got to know some of this offense. You got to know where to go with the football. But it's like the small things. Like he'll miss like a sticks read that's like perfectly set up. Like throw the stick. Like that's like a basic NFL concept, bro. That every team runs in some kind of capacity. Throw the stick, or he'll read the stick wrong and he'll do it like, I know NFL teams do it outside in, but like, bro, you got Brock Bowers. So did Brock Bowers. I'm doing Brock Bowers today. So there's some plays that he missed to Brock Bowers, and of course that pick he had, which people debated about the spacing, but I'm going to show this angle for it. That I mean, just really no debate that he could have just did like a soft little toss and just threw it. It was just easy touchdown. I just don't understand it. And then like the offensive line probably was, I thought this was their worst game overall. I thought like in the first half they actually ran block okay. I think the run block. See, the thing is the run blocking was better than the pass blocking in this game, which was interesting. Because I mean, Minshew was under pressure a lot in the first half. It wasn't as much in the second half, but in the first half it was. But they ran the ball better in the first half. But then the second half, like the Broncos like figured out that they have some kind of opening in the run game, and number 40 would just wait. He wouldn't even attack. He would just wait for the opening to go, and he'd blitz through it. It was like every single time they did in the second half. So they really had no shot to run the ball in the second half. So I mean, that's a little bit on, I guess, the tell that gets you in them, because he's trying to run more split zone now, because they're trying to stick with the zone game, even though I'm gonna do an article for SB Nation about it. It's literally like 6 yards per carry to 3 yards per carry. Like so, it just doesn't make any sense. So but they're sticking with it. They try to go to split zone. They got to stick with the zone, and it's getting crazy at this point a little bit with the run game. I think Jackson Powers-Johnson, he struggled a little bit. Parham was good in pass pro like he usually is, but he got his ass kicked in the run game too. But it just wasn't pretty in my opinion. But like they just have guys who can get open, so it's hard for me to be like they can't do something on offense. And maybe AOC with the game plan, maybe it looks different because there were some throws that he just made on time that were just like, okay, if he does that on time, it'll be fine. Or like he went to a sticks route and he came back to the middle of the field and hit Jacoby Myers. Like it's just things that he does with time that maybe might be better. That's why I really don't want him to play, to be honest. Once I saw Wilkins, it was like, yeah, don't play LC. People are gonna be like, hey, LC's not better. I'm sure there'll be somebody in the comments that says that, but I was watching him on film and I was like, okay, with the game plan, they might be able to do something. And at this point, like, I'm just like, man, let's not just play Minshew. Let's just get this over with. But yeah, man, it was just, I don't know. It was hard to watch. It was frustrating. And I think that they got to be frustrated too. But to do the quarterback competition things, to me, like, I don't know. You think still some balls, man. Just pick somebody. In my opinion.
Part of me kind of thinks like, and I don't know. We'll see if this ends up becoming true. Like, part of me thinks like they know Aiden O'Connell's the starter. They know they can't keep rolling out Gardner Minshew and have any chance at winning. And I mean, it's one of those things like you see Drake May getting named the starter, and it's very clearly it's like, yes, we don't necessarily want to start Drake May right now, but we know like Gerard Mayo knows like I'm gonna lose the locker room if I keep trotting Jacoby Brissett out there and don't play our best quarterback. So I think that's similar situation with the Raiders. I just think with what I get the feeling that they're trying to do some sort of game strategy, gamesmanship type of thing of like they know damn well that they're going to start Aiden O'Connell next week, but they don't want the Pitt Steelers to know it, or they don't want to announce it till like Friday or whatever and give them less time or some crap like that. So I could see that situation unfolding and that being the case, but I just don't see how you can bench Gardner Minshew twice in 3 weeks and then realistically be like, yep, he's our starter, and realistically turn to a guy like Max Crosby and be like, yep, that guy's going to be the starter moving forward, or Jacoby Myers who's playing his ass off right now and be like, yeah, that's the starting quarterback right now.
Yeah,
with how he's played and everything. And the other thing that you brought up too is like the whole spacing with Luke Getsy thing. It's funny to me like the discourse around Luke Getsy, because I feel like a lot of people like there is justifiable of like of like questions about him as a play caller, but I feel like the things that people question are like the opposite of what at least we would say, where it's like we've sat here and said every single week since week 1 that they should be running more gap versus zone, but everyone wants to pay attention to the passing game. We're the two of us are sitting here like there are guys open in the passing game. The running game's a damn problem. So you can have your questions about Luke Getsy, but don't question
the passing game. I mean, the passing game to me is actually pretty good. So I said it on Twitter. Like somebody asked me about Getsy, and I said his problem is more the run game because like I was talking about, like there'll be a guy number 40 the whole second half would not move forward. He would literally wait on the split zone, and you know how split zone works, right? This guy's going to come, the tight end comes, and there's a little space, like the C gap is open. He would just wait, and you shoot the C gap, and there's nothing they can do. So that's something that they have to get better with the run game. But the passing game is fine, man. I mean, like I posted another play on Twitter. There's literally 3 guys open. He ran like a peel concept, and he had Trey Tucker, who was open if you want to throw it to him on the wheel. He had DJ Turner open on the post, and then they did drive on the backside, which is the dig and the drag, right? And he had a drag with Brock Bowers. I'll give him Brock Bowers wasn't open, fine, but Jacoby Myers is wide open on the dig. Like, what else can you do with that? There's nothing you could do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's just really nothing you could do with that. So I guess, but it was that one play on the play that they threw the pick where he called a bootleg. I don't agree with calling a play action bootleg that close, especially that bootleg play. And then you have those guys on top of each other like that. It's going to happen. But Brock Bowers is wide open like 3 yards in front of him, so it didn't matter. That's what.
And that was more, and I think you talked about this too, and you pointed out on Twitter, like, yes, the spacing wasn't good on that play, but at the same time, if a halfway decent ball that's not overthrown is a touchdown, and we're not talking about the spacing. We're talking about a 17-3 lead.
And we're all like, "Oh, what a play call by Getsy." See, that's really what it is. But anyways, man. All right. So obviously this has been frustrating for us this first 5 weeks, but hopefully I don't know. This is gonna work. I'm just gonna, it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. All right. So let's get into this film, man. Let's start with offense. Let's start with the offense. All right, so we're gonna start with a little JPJ here. So let's start in the run game, which he's been struggling a little bit the past couple weeks, and we're gonna talk about his high pad level. This is gonna be the focus because his pad level. We talked about this. You go back to May after he was drafted. We talked about his pad level, but he was able to get away with it in college. But you're not gonna get away with it against DJ Jones and Zach Allen. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. Okay, so here he is. Like I said, you can see his get off. His get off is great, right? I mean, he has great get off. It's one of his best things he does. He's one of the first guys off the line, right? But you already see how high his pad level is. You already see where DJ Jones is what he's about to do here, right? So you get this. We'll talk about split zone, but this is what I was talking about. They're shooting this gap later on in the game. But you see what's happening here is that he's already getting tossed because how high his pad level is. So it doesn't even matter what technique he has. Where's his hands? You get a high pad level against like DJ Jones or somebody like that. That's just a pro. That's a pretty damn good defensive tackle. You're gonna get shed just like that. Easy. So watch one more time. Just toss it aside like it's nothing. Like he just gets no push there because his pad level is way too high, and he's kind of gets off balance a little bit. Like it's not USC anymore. Especially over I feel like he's gonna figure it out, but. That's what's happening here. Now, on this one, you already see he's higher than Zach Allen already. Zach Allen has the hands inside. His hands are outside. Like you could already tell that this is not going to be the best rep here. So get a little bit of a counter run here. I mean, Parham's getting his butt kicked too here. But you already see the full extension. Zach Allen has full control. There is nothing that really – he's not getting any push. He's already lost here. And he's just waiting for Madison to make a decision because now Madison has to go this way, and he sees DJ Jones, who's is kicking Parham's ass here. And he just waits and just makes the tackle there, and then Johnson's on the ground. I think he got hurt on this play, so he's probably gonna be the injury report this week because he got it bent up. He was limping the rest of the game.
Ooh, yeah, that's ugly.
Yeah, he's a tough dude though, man. He kept playing. All right, here we go. Next one here. There's JPJ right here. Now, see, this ends up being a good block, but just like see how it's the pad level for me. Like he's literally standing up. He's literally standing up, but he has so much power that he can still move Zach Allen because Zach Allen's higher than he is, right? Zach Allen didn't get low on this one. So since he's a lower man and he has so much power, he can just move Zach Allen like this and create a hole. right? So it's not the problem with like the power or anything. It's just that he's standing straight up here. Like he's literally standing he's way too high. Even right here, to me, he's way too high. He's got to get lower. See where Parham and DJ Glaze are at, and then look at where JPJ is at. He's standing straight up. He still gets a good block. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's if he gets his pad level down, like he's gonna be so damn good. This dude's having good blocks with super high, basically standing up. So you see it here again. Great get off. He's the first guy off the line, right?
Yeah.
But the
difference.
Go ahead.
Just back it up like a couple ticks. Just look at the difference between him and Miller.
Yeah, he's the first guy off the line.
But I'm just talking their pad level, right? Like look at
the
Miller,
pad level
like,
too.
Yeah.
I mean, look at him and everybody else.
Yeah, for sure.
But look at he still moves him. Yeah. He still pushes him out the. You know what I mean? Like this.
Yeah.
Right. All right, a little power here because it looks like split zone, but it's kind of like these down blocks. You kind of see what he's doing here. Just moving people still. So I mean, even with this high pad level, he's still moving people. So I mean, like you can just see the potential he has still. You just got to get this damn pad level down. You can see it here on the long track on this one. Like look at this block. He's still kind of high, but look at the block he puts on this dude right here.
Yeah,
opens it up there. Which this is a play that they run like once a game for 8 yards every single time. So it's just funny here. All right, so here we go. Here's another one. All right, so this is him versus DJ Jones. I'll show from the other angle here. See, he's a little lower this time, so he gets a little better. He's a little lower, but still, he doesn't get the hands up quick enough this time. And DJ Jones is still lower than he is. He's still standing straight up here. He has no leverage. He's kind of standing sideways. I think he's kind of wanting more help from James here, but James has to get up to 40 at this point in time, and it just wasn't gonna work. And he just allows DJ Jones just to make this tackle here. Because he's not getting any push on him. And in my opinion, I think James kind of has to feel this and just kind of just help a little bit more and kind of just let Madison get to this linebacker. And I understand what he's supposed to do, but I don't know. Sometimes it's feel and instincts instead of just what's my assignment. Sometimes, in my opinion, you see a split zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, be a football player, not a robot.
Exactly. Like help. Like he's losing, my dude. Like just don't. And then they get nothing. And he makes the tackle. All right. So in pass protection, I saw a little bit of better play from Johnson. Right. You can see his pad level's lower in pass pro, which I think is super weird. See how much lower he is.
Yeah.
And he does a good job of picking up stunts. It's like one of my favorite things here. So he does a good job of passing this off with Andre James, working with James here, understanding he sees this guy about to come inside, pushes him off, and he's ready and engaged. And like I said, he's lower than the other guy, got his hands inside quick. Nothing there. Allows Minshew to get out of his pocket, run for a first down. And then, of course, he dives over the pile. He just does his patented dive over the pile.
That's gonna hurt him more than the other boys.
Because he 29. Oh, I'm sorry, it's funny. All right, here we go on this one. You get Zach Allen here. You get play action. So it's just so weird. He's still a little bit high here, but he's lower than he is as a run blocker, right? So he does a decent job here, but I think he still kind of loses leverage, which allows him to just shed, and he gets help from James here. And it's a bootleg anyways. But he is better in pass protection right now than he is run blocking, I'll tell you that. Which is funny. I always talked about the opposite, but he's got to get his pad level down. See, it's like still a little high here. And that's why Zach Allen goes right by him. Right? High. He's standing straight up. Zach Allen just swipes at his hands here. Goes right by him.
Got to keep his hands tighter.
This one dude, Bionic Raider, he coaches offensive lineman in UK. He told me that they're teaching like a two-hand clamp or something. The clamp hands, which is would make sense. All these guys are all getting bull rush all the time. All right. So this is honest. It's like one thing I do know is that this dude's really smart though, because you see here he's able to pick up the stunt really quick. He sees it, which allows Madison to pick up the blitzer. I'm able to get this pass off here. Of course, Jacoby Myers drops this ball, but that's a big drop in this game. You see how smart he is, though. He sees everything. Like, he just understands it. Creates a clean pocket here. Yeah, it's just all right. And you see here once again, now he's gonna get bull rushed by Allen. Allen just goes attacks him, right? He doesn't even get his hands up. He just gets straight pushed him. And this is a quick slant. Like, this is like a 3-step drop. This is how quick he just loses. How quick he's getting pushed back here.
Yeah. And
he's got Cam Hayward coming. So I hope he's ready, because Cam Hayward will throw him to the ground if he does that. That's John Simpson. John Simpson was a pretty good guard, and he got baptized by him. But you see here, like this is a good rep here. This is a good rep. Pad level's a little lower here. Right? I think he's still a little bit late to his hands. But he just got good feet, right? And then you can see how he was able to adjust there. If it's a good rep, of course, Minshew takes a sack anyways. Glaze does get kind of be here, but, I mean, he could have just threw this to Brock Bowers, but that's fine. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right, man. All right. So let's get to Brock Bowers. Now we're talking about Brock Bowers. This is enough JPJ. I guess you can watch this rep one more time. But I'm saying, like, this is against Zach Allen. It's a pretty good rep, man. All right. This is Brock Bowers. Of course, we start with his incredible touchdown. So this is a route that they've been running all year. The Broncos are ready for it, though. They were ready for this concept. Out of 13 personnel, basically, they run a lot with Travis Kelce, where he sells the post route here, the over route, and he comes back. And he plays it really well. Like, now Minshew kind of just throws it up, right? Yeah. People were talking about spacing here probably a little bit, but the only reason they're spacing is because he has to stop, and Tucker has to make sure he's not throwing him the ball, right? And then, but he just basically just jumps over this dude. It's just incredible. Look how high he is in the air.
Yeah. That's crazy to me, because I didn't think Bowers was very good at contested catches in the NFL, and he's actually doing really, or in college, he's actually doing really well at it this year.
Yeah. So here we go. And the Raiders they've run this play a lot, in my opinion, maybe too much, and that's why I feel like the Broncos are kind of ready for it, and kind of knew it. Especially at a 13, because they always run it at 13 personnel too. I just think they got to switch it up. They're gonna keep doing this play, but it's just the moss of the dude like that, and then spinning in midair. Touchdown.
Athlete, man.
And then one thing, it was a focus to get him the ball in this game. You see him just on these screen routes, right? You can just get him the ball, and he can just let him do his thing. It's a good job reading blocks.
Nice read.
Cut back inside. You can see I'll cut the acceleration. And, man, at least we got a little bit of a future here, man. This is the bright spot. This dude right here. He is what I call a bright spot. All right. So now Getsy was getting creative too. Now we got 13 personnel. We got him lined up at fullback. This is one of the misses, but I just want to point out, this is what you want to do with Brock Bowers. Just move him around everywhere. Give him the ball. Maybe even give it a fullback carry at some point just to mix it up, to keep these guys off guard. But you see how they sucked him in. and he's just gonna run past somebody. Of course, Minshew just misses him completely, but there's just so many. He could have 3 touchdowns. This is another touchdown because, I mean, I'm taking a bet if he catches this on stride that he's gonna make this guy miss. I'm just taking a bet. That's my bet. I don't know if anybody would like to take that, but I really like this concept. Kind of switch it up here. Do that, no chance. But I just don't know why he didn't set his feet and throw this ball.
He didn't. Yeah. Clean pocket. Was anyone even close to breaking through?
No, they weren't. All right, so here's the infamous interception here. Now, you're getting him kind of blocking and then coming around. Now, this is a typical bootleg they've been running all year, where you have the over route with Tucker, and then it's kind of in and out route. A lot of NFL teams run this. This is kind of basic West Coast play action bootleg, right? So you get you've probably seen Aaron Rodgers do this before, right? Do the little fake here, a little one-hand fake, and spin back around, okay? Now, Brock Bowers is wide open here. And all really Minshew, and I know some people said that he's too tall, and that's why he threw it. All Minshew had to do is just loft this ball, like over here. It's just like a little soft little touch pass right here. He's running full speed, just a little touch pass. But no, he just throws it over his head.
Also, bag it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just going to comment on the spacing. So I'm pretty sure Trey Tucker should be in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, he should be.
And I would be willing to bet that Myers' route is a for the love of the game, where he's really basically screening for Bowers to walk in.
See, I watched this play a couple times, and I'm like, is he throwing to Myers? I hope he's not. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he wasn't. But I've watched this play a couple times, and I was like, is he throwing to Myers? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. But like this is my point. Like, if all he had to do is just do a little soft toss, like it's just soft toss right over here. Look at this. He just threw it towards just right here to this R right here. That's all he had to do. Yeah. That's why I was like, is he throwing this to Myers? Are you sure? Are we sure about this? How sure are we?
Like, give the dude a pump fake or something, but
I don't like pump fake him and then just like toss it. I don't know, man. So after this, they're like, oh, okay, Brock Bowers is getting too open. Now they put Patrick Surtain on him. This is kind of when like the Raiders offense kind of started to fall apart. They're like, okay, we're gonna put Patrick Surtain on him. This is too much. He's been open too much, and yeah, he's missed them twice. But they're like, we're gonna put Patrick Surtain, and Surtain was just locking him up. You see here, he's got to get more on this route. Like this ain't. I've seen him do more on some of these quick outs, and I think he's got to use his route running skills a little bit more. Kind of doing a quick out, and it's not gonna work against Surtain. Surtain's all over that because Surtain trusts his speed. He's so quick out of his transitions. He's all over that. And then, of course, you got the interception here. Saying they got him lined up one-on-one. And this is what I'm talking about. He tries on this one. I think this is when the timing between him and N'Connell got off, because he tried to give him something, like a little bit. He's like, okay. They kind of chipped him a little bit. He tried to give him something. It's not the greatest route in the world. And then he gets his hands around late. I still think Surtain knocks that ball out right there. So this is a great play by Surtain. Kind of he just like times it perfectly. Knocks the ball up in there, picks it. So they're like, enough's enough, which I thought was funny. But that's just how good he is, though. I'm really showing this because this is how good this dude is. That they're like, we got to put Patrick Surtain on him. You know what I mean? And yeah, Surtain was able to lock him up a little bit, but like just think of that respect. This is a great play by Surtain, but just think about this respect that they gave him here, man. I mean, I put this last play because I kind of just want to show how good he is in zone inside too. Just make that quick catch inside. But yeah, man. That's basically it there. So that was JPJ and Brock Bowers. So, you know, I thought they had a good game plan for Bowers. Like, I showed a couple screens they didn't show, and they had a good game plan to give him the ball. That's why I had 12 targets overall. It was just he could have had 3 touchdowns. and then they're like, okay, we're gonna put Patrick Surtain on you. And I think that was kind of I think that's what we might see going forward at this point. They don't have Devontae Adams. If he lines up anywhere outside, they're gonna have to find ways to kind of get, Joey Porter Jr. is gonna be on him. They're gonna put their best corner on him. I think that's the ultimate respect. I think he leads tight ends like every category.
Yeah, he leads them in catches and yards. Granted, Goddard had a bye last week, so and Goddard's the one he was like chasing before, but he's balling. And then, like you said, I mean, especially no Adams, I think he's going to see a lot more corners when they split him out wide. They're going to have to put him back in in line more often, or do stuff like you showed in the one missed touchdown and put him in the backfield and get more creative with how they want to use him, because he's getting the Travis Kelce level respect. I mean, to put their top corner and one of the best corners in the NFL on him as a rookie tight end, that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, that's a. When I saw that the other game, man, I was like, wow, they're really putting Patrick through. They're like, enough's enough. This is not like this guy's not gonna beat us himself. So, and then JPJ, I think he's gonna go. I think he's gonna get better. I think he'll figure out to get his pad level down. And you still see the potential and the power that he has. You just got to fix that technique, man. I think he'll be fine. I think it'll be pretty simple. I don't know how much I like James Craig at this point so far. It's been interesting. I don't know. It's like some of the things that he's like teaching them, like some of the coaches, some of the like watching all the run plays throughout the 5 weeks. Now some people don't watch every single run play. Like I've been watching every single run play over the 5 weeks, and some of the things that they're coached to do, it's obviously coaching at this point. So I don't know, man. I don't know about him too much either. So it's going to be interesting with that. But I do think JPJ has a lot of potential, and we gotta have the right O-line coach that can kind of bring it out of him.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there are plenty of reps there where he had bad technique and just won with pure strength. So they got some good competition. So
yeah, man.
Future is bright. Those first 2 picks are looking decent right now, at least moving forward.
Yeah, Glaze is all right. Glaze had a pretty good, decent game, but yeah. At least the draft picks look all right, man. All right, let's get into some defense. Let's just watch some Jack Jones, man. Let's get into it.
All right, you got me up there.
Yeah, here we go.
All right. So I'm gonna dive into some Jack Jones. In fairness to Jones, he didn't have a great game, or he didn't have a terrible game. I just don't think he's playing well, like kind of what I was talking about in the intro. So I did want to, in fairness to him, to kind of show a few of his good plays from Saturday or Sunday, or start with a couple of those. This first one, you're gonna see him in off coverage against Cortland Sutton. This is the Jack Jones we kind of know, where like when he's playing off coverage, just has these great instincts where he kind of just jumps this route and ends up doing a great job, pretty much just beating Sutton to the spot on the slant route, getting a nice little PBU. This is third and 5. So again, big stop here, big in the game, or early in the game, ends up getting the PBU. So again, do want to give him a little bit of credit, show his highlights from Sunday. We will see him versus Sutton later in the game, though, and it's not going to be as pretty. But yeah, perfect timing. Ran the route for him. So here on the second play, we're going to see a nice little tackle for loss from Jones down here at the bottom of the screen. Now, this is what I was talking about in the intro, where this definitely is not supposed to be. The screen's not supposed to be thrown. Like if you watch these 2 receivers, they're not blocking them, which is part of the reason why Jack Jones is able to make this play. But end of the day, nice tackle for him. And then this is, again, one of the coverage breaks I was referencing above. I think is that Isaiah Paul-Mal? Yep, up there at safety. Yeah, if I'm Sean Payton, I'm ripping Bo Nix a new one, because that should have been a easy walk-in touchdown, because IPM bit a little hard on that screen fake, but to his credit, Bo Nix did throw it. So just don't know if he peeled off in time. But anyway, again, back to Jack Jones. Nice little open field tackle here. Get a TFL on the screen. Good rep right there. Now, this is where things start to take a turn for the worse. This rep, you're going to see a little cover 2 here from the Raiders. Now, I do like this play design from the Broncos. Like, you're going to see a little, almost like a scissors concept type of deal. We're going to get out here and then the post, deep out, and then the post behind it. And what that does is, with Trevon Merritt reading it, he's going to see the post, and he's going to be a little late to this out, and keeps working for depth, because he's getting a vertical push from from number one out here. And then on top of that, he ends up getting way too deep to cover this out. So this is partially on Trevon Merrick. But to give Merrick a little bit of slack here, the other part of the issue is if we watch Jones here, let's start from the top. Jones here at the top of the screen at the corner. He's supposed to be getting, or Trevon Merrick's supposed to be getting a little bit more help from his corner. However, the corner takes the cheese on this short little out route into the flat. And then that leaves this window wide ass open for Bo Nix to just drop it right to this out route and go pick up the first down here. So again, not completely on Jack Jones here. There is some shared blame here with Trevon Merrick. But part of the problem is Jones needs to stay deep. You've heard me, if you watch this channel before, in the NFL, we play zone back to front. We want to take care of the deep routes first. But when we take the cheese, I mean, that's an easy read for Bo Nix to just throw to the out route. And at the very least, ideally, defensively, we're sinking, and maybe we don't make the PBU here. We're making Nix throw a perfect ball over our head and on the sideline here to make the completion, not giving the guy 10 yards in each direction to complete the pass.
That was not a sign of respect. He thought he was going to throw the flat route. He thought he was going to get a pick. Like he did.
Yeah, he's trying to jump it. Yeah. It's like, I know I've watched Bo Nix. He's going to check this down.
Bo Nix off, though. He's about to hit this check down. I'm going to this. Like, no, guess not. All right.
To cut Jack Jones a little bit of slack here. The situation here is this is right before halftime, and I think the Broncos were out of timeouts. So I don't mind that he's being a little bit more conservative here. Like, you're going to see him play with pretty hard outside leverage and then stay deep because he doesn't want to get beat over the top of his head in this cover one call. But at the end of the day, like, this is just way too much separation. Now, and again, he is supposed to get some help here from the low hole robber, who I think that's Harper, who I'm not sure, 100% sure why he's in the game here. But again, and then Harper doesn't turn his head and help out Jones at all and ends up slipping. But at the same time, again, for Jack Jones's perspective, like, we don't want them to be able to cross the 50 because then they get in field goal range, especially Mile High. Mm-hmm. So what I'd like to see him do is right about here, like, hey, buzz our feet. At this point, we're staying deep and we're making sure nothing's getting over. We can still make sure nothing gets over our head. But when we continue to work with depth and then we're late to drive on the dig route, I mean, we just can't give that up. Now, if he stays on it and he's like at least in this receiver's hip a little bit or on top of him, maybe Nix doesn't throw it and he ends up scrambling because he does kind of climb the pocket and whatnot. And that's part of the reason why Harper starts coming downhill. But if Nix scrambles in this situation, we'll take that because it's going to waste more time. What we can't do is give up a completion that, again, gives the ball at the 41. Still a long field goal. And, Janarius Robinson's penalty was the bigger problem here that ended up leading to the points. But again, just can't give up that much separation to a guy. Now, this one, again, we missed 3 tackles. So not completely on Jack Jones, but we're not helping the problem here. Because again, a little screen pass, does a great job reading it, crashes downhill hard. Spillane misses the tackle. Then this is way too high. He misses the tackle on Will Jordan Humphrey. And then Trevon Merrick, what is this? I still can't get over. One, what kind of angle is this? And 2, just wrap the damn guy up. Stick your arm out. Get his knee. Get his leg. And trip him up.
I can't even. This is awful. That's so bad to watch.
Instead of taking it inside the 5. A screen that, yes, it's going to pick up the first down for the second one. And playing a little off here, or at least Jack Jones is. But we can't have 3 missed tackles and give up a 20-yard gain. Like, these are the type of plays that lose you ball games. By the way, Raiders missed 17 tackles, according to PFF, in this one. So, issue that they can't seem to figure out how to fix. I don't know what it is. Just keep. And frustrating thing is, especially from Mary, it's the same thing every damn time. Just too deep of an angle, not wrapping up, and I mean, just a complete lift.
That's just bad football, man. Good Lord.
Yeah. Well, this is the rep I was talking about earlier against Cortland Sutton. This time he's going to line up and press. I believe this is second, and what is it we got? 7 or 8 here. See, 2, 7. So now the problem I have with this rep, and maybe he's being told he has to do it and has to line up and press, but Jack Jones is like 5'11", 185. Cortland Sutton's 6'4", 215, 220. So Sutton's got about like 30 pounds on him. He's got some good size on him. I don't like that matchup in press. You're going to see Jones trying to get physical here. That doesn't matter. Now, Sutton does get away with the push off here. We'll see at the top of the route. Like right there, like pretty clear push off. But at the same time, like one, at least from my philosophy, like don't leave this in the ref's hands. You can't rely on the refs to call it. But when you're also being physical and when you're engaging and starting the contact, you're not going to get that call. And I mean, again, by the letter of the law, yes, you could say this should be a penalty. But again, don't leave it in the ref's hands. And two, when you're initiating the contact, we hear about it all the time, back and forth hand fighting, the likelihood of you getting this call is not going to be high. And on top of it, at the end of the day, like Jack Jones still has a great chance to make this a good play for himself, and he recovers nicely. Mm-hmm. And if he makes this tackle right here, it's a 2-3 yard gain, and we're playing for third down. However, now we have 2 missed tackles, and we give up the first down. Again, this is just losing football. This is why the defense isn't playing up to their standards. They're in the right spot here. He does a good job. Paul Now does a good job. Paul Now technically makes the tackle here. But at the end of the day, like, this isn't far from a good rep. Giving up 4 extra yards after contact. And he ends up picking up the first down. And then this is just the frustrating part. When people ask me what the defensive issues are, like, to be honest with you, it's not schematics or anything like that. Like, this is just poor execution. This is just poor tackling. Poor basic fundamental football. 17 missed tackles.
I was thinking that rep you just showed. I was thinking about BD because BD always says, "You push, I pull."
Right.
So he says to the corners, like, if you're gonna push me, I'm gonna pull.
Exactly. Yeah. And if he does that there again, maybe he can stay on him. And either way, still recovered. Still had a chance to make a good play out of it. But yeah. After this, he goes right to the ref, trying to ask for the flag. Mm-hmm. Again, you're right. He pushed off, but don't leave it in their hands. All right, this last rep too. This is garbage time, but I mean, you're going to see Jack Jones just get smoked off the line. And this is the Broncos' number 2 receiver, Josh Reynolds, who I don't really think is that good of a player. Mm-mm. But I mean, come on, man. I don't even know what to say. Like, just flat-footed. I think he goes for the jam here this time. Just gets his hand swatted. Like, again, it's garbage time, but are you quitting? Do you not want to play anymore? Because if you don't, like, that's fine. Just let us know. Like, we can't just get smoked off the line. Again, you're supposed to be our best corner.
Yeah.
And you're getting burnt by our rivals, number 2.
Yeah, by Josh Reynolds. Yeah,
for a touchdown. And he turned to it. He turns at the end of the play too, like he turns to Paul Now, like he thought it was cover 1, and looked to me like it's cover 0 because it looks like Eichenberg is just trying to jam the tight end, doesn't actually have him in man. So I don't know if there was some confusion on the play call too, and maybe that's part of it. But again, you're supposed to be the top corner. I would kind of hope you'd take command of that and whatnot, but just get smoked.
Yeah, I guess he could make this case that he's playing trail. I guess.
Yeah, well, trail, you got to at least be in the hip.
Great point.
Yeah. Yeah. And if he had safety help, maybe, yeah. But obviously he's not on the same page. And based on how the linebackers play this and based on how Spillane plays this too, like, not that I'm giving Eichenberg a ton of room, or not that I should maybe I'm giving Eichenberg too much credit, but to me, this looks like just your cover 0 with 2 low hold droppers. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. All right, this last play going to be a run play. Again, run defense wasn't Jack Jones's biggest issue, but this is what I was talking about with the effort. I think this actually came the rep after he had that nice tackle for loss. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and say that Jack Jones should be making this play and stopping this, because at the end of the day, there's far more issues up front that lead to it, namely Robert Spillane getting pinned inside here on this little draw. But let's just watch Jack Jones. And I'm just curious, what do you think of this effort?
It's just he doesn't want to tackle. I tell you that.
And here's the situation in this game. This is in the second half. The Raiders are down 2 possessions, and again, they just had a big play where they're backed up. It's 2nd and 15. Like if you get one more negative play, you take them out of field goal range. And even if they kick the field goal, even if you get them to settle for a field goal, it's still a 2-possession game. You have a chance to win. And what pisses me off about this more than anything, and I probably wouldn't even show this if it didn't happen recently, this is a guy that a week ago, or against the Browns, was benched in the first quarter for not giving full effort. And that means you mean to tell me that's the best you can give me? This is as physical as you can be, and this is a guy that again was facing discipline for taking plays off. And like we're just kind of out there pitter pattering here with the receiver. Like, come on, man, show a little bit more fight. Man, like that's just the stuff that, like, I don't know, for me just pisses me off when I see that, because it's like, again, like that's just effort. Not to say that he's necessarily being like soft or anything like that, but like be physical. You know what I mean? Like just go up and just do something. Like at least make it look like you're trying. Again, I don't think you make the stop or anything like that. I don't think you prevent the first down. There were bigger issues on that play, but it's like I just can't stand. Like it's like, man, this was a guy that a week ago or 2 weeks ago got disciplined and got called out by his head coach for not having great effort, and then that's what he puts out a week after serving a suspension. Like it's like, is the message not resonating? Like that's just frustrating me.
Yeah, it's garbage time. These guys are kind of just done. They're just quitting. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel that way on offense, in my opinion. I think that the offensive guys are, because I think they're younger. Well, I really can't really say that. They're not. So I don't know.
Jack Jones, he's fighting for a new like in a year. He's going to be fighting for a new contract again, and he's got something to prove. He's not a cornerback one. His Madden rating, he's not happy with.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's not rising. I'll tell you that it's not rising after this year. I think the defense is more disappointing than me to this year. And I know those guys are hurt and there's injuries, but that's what I talked about with Tom Telesco all offseason was depth. Like, and people were like, "Why are you wishing injuries on this team?" And I'm like, "Because this is football, and people get injured." It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that's the frustrating thing too. And I'm not sure if we touched on this in the beginning. Like, it feels like to me, and like I've noticed this in the Panthers game for sure. It feels like when they get down in the second half, like there are guys that start to make the business decisions. You know what I mean? Like where like they just kind of stop playing. Like I don't know. Again, talked about it in the instant reaction where I get it of like it gets morally deflating when you're busting your ass and the offense isn't holding up their end of the bargain and can't seem to move the ball. But at the same time, you got to keep playing football. Like you never know what can happen. Like I felt like that happened in the Ravens game a little bit, and what saved them was they started targeting Devontae, and they ended up going down and scoring. And then I think the defense kind of caught their second wind. But it just feels like to me like there's certain things like in these games that I don't know if it's scheme, but guys just seem to let their foot off the gas, and this gets frustrating.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, it was a difficult week. It was hard to watch this film. I'm not gonna lie. It was bad. I mean, especially for my side because it started off so well. I was like reminded how great the game started off, and then it just all went to shit. It was just crazy to watch on film, man. And I guess it's the same way on defense too. Okay.
Yeah, for me too.
I mean, at least they're prepared this week. They're ready for this game. But it's just, I don't know. It's just all the injuries and stuff are just piling up, and it just feels like this team. Who knows? I mean, maybe they go out and they beat the Steelers this week. Who knows? The Steelers are kind of reeling. George Pickens is running routes at half speed. Like they're having some problems too. So who knows how this game is going to go this week? But
maybe this is the perfect matchup for Jack Jones, George Pickens, and him going up against each other. Like Both will take a play off here and then. Maybe hopefully they time it up well. They have like a handshake agreement per snap. Like, hey, I want the backside.
Yeah,
just whisper, backside.
Oh yeah, man! It's the Luke Getsy versus Justin Fields revenge game. That's what we got. Luke Getsy's gonna show Justin, this is what you could have been doing, and then Justin Fields gonna try to show Luke Getsy what he's got. That's what to watch. But we'll see, man, because they're still 2-3 at the end of the day. I don't know, man. I'm trying to keep it positive.
Yeah.
I'm a positivity. I'm trying to keep it positive. I feel like this has been a negative show.
I need to be less of a cynic, but I see people saying that a lot. I'm like, yeah, but did you watch the game?
I just feel like it's been a negative show. I'm trying to end this on some positivity.
No, yeah, I know. I got to be more. I need to be more positive. Usually it's the opposite, but yeah, it's been a tough week, guys. I'm in a dark place.
I just don't have any answers. I'm like, what is the answer? Like, the teams do like all the run plays. Like, they have a quarterback who doesn't throw the ball, but then they're doing a quarterback competition, and I don't know how much better AOC is actually going to look, and that's what I want to see. I want to see what he looks like with like a game plan, because the only time I've seen him is in garbage time, where he like has to do shotgun and like has to throw every single down. Everybody knows he's throwing every single down, so we'll see. Maybe he looks different, but I don't know, man. But they're 2-3. They could be 3-3 after this week. Then they got the Rams. They could be 4. You know what I mean? Like this. I'm gonna end this.
Yeah, you can be 4-3 going into a game with the Chiefs. Upset them. I don't know who the Chiefs have the next 2 weeks, but maybe they lose too.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to get some positivity on the show. All right, guys. We're out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, and make sure you check it out. Like I said, I'm probably just with Cam Ward tomorrow, and then BD does the defense as well, so be able to check out for that in the member section. And then also, we'll be here for the Friday Night Live, and we'll have the preview against the Steelers. I might just have Derek DB come talk to us. So I'll talk to Derek and see. Make it easy for us. All right, man.
I'm
out here. Peace.